surprised me the most is the heavy resistance we have felt since we put that counter up on the fossil fuel subsidies. It hasn't been easy, actually. It has been very crazy.
Many issues that relate to the climate emergency that we believe is a kind of nexus point, a kind of knot that we have to untangle before we can really continue with anything else. $423 billion every year is used for fossil fuel subsidies. The fossil fuel subsidies themselves don't benefit the poor. They don't benefit the disenfranchised. They mostly benefit manufacturers. In fact, 80% of them actually go directly to manufacturers.
Let me be real for a second. You've got a huge opportunity right now. As you rebuild your economies and bounce back from this pandemic, this is humanity's big chance. So here's my wild idea. Don't choose extinction. Save your species before it's too late. It's time for you humans to stop making excuses and start making changes. Thank you.
During 2020, we also saw a very steep drop in the emissions of greenhouse gases. But this was not a very attractive nor a very sustainable way of dealing with the climate crisis that is currently ongoing. And today, these greenhouse gas emissions are again rising at a very high rate. And this is something that is a result of the fact that many societies are right now trying to build back their economies and trying to build back their societies to what they once were. But we need to focus on the things that not only bring us a boost in our GDPs, but the things that actually bring us a positive change for the climate crisis and things that can actually make us more resilient and make us a little bit more in tune with the world around us.
And I think we need to act now with force to actually make something for the future, to create something livable for the future, because the planet will survive. I wonder if the dinosaurs or your children will survive. So I think that is the importance, and we can all chip in on a personal level, no matter if you're academia, government, or a company, or an individual user. It takes a collaborative effort to succeed.
Did you know that 50% of the global emissions origin from just 10% of the world's population? That's the richest part that you, I, and everybody in this broadcast belongs to. Climate Heroes' mission is to help these 10% to adapt to a climate-friendly lifestyle. Starting with that we help you calculate your carbon footprint in just 5 minutes. You then get positive feedback on what you already do well. That's part of our positive psychology and nudging. And then we give you personalized suggestions on how you can reduce your footprint.
Kraften operates a virtual power plant of distributed assets. It could be EV charging, it could be batteries, solar, small-scale hydro, and much more. And what we do is that we utilize the inherent flexibility of those assets to balance and alleviate grid congestion. And when doing that, we reduce the need for new infrastructure, and instead we utilize existing resources more efficiently to accelerate and enable the energy transition. Thank you.
Ligna Energy make batteries, biobatteries, rechargeable batteries out of forest residues. And we use the byproduct from the pulp and paper industry, lignin, as a main component in these batteries.
We can't limit ourselves to talk about the second life of products or parts of the product, which is important, for instance, for all the batteries that we will use in our vehicles. We will need to find recyclability, we will need to find the second life of batteries, but we need also to solve the end of life for the products, no matter what company is actually producing them. And here comes the brilliancy with green chemistry, because if we can get this right from the beginning, when actually combining the molecules in the chemicals, which are then turning into products, then we are actually solving the problem from start, which is brilliant thinking from our laureate this year.
We also want to remember that what is happening here, negotiating, it's so wrong from our perspective. You don't put a price on your mother. You don't put a price on the person that brought you to this place.
If we can't count on our leaders, how do we become the leaders? And I came up with this idea about creating a platform where everyone that are engaged in the climate and everyone that are working on solution can connect with each other and work together, but also have a dialogue and give reviews to those in power, businesses, political leaders, public figures, etc., etc.
You know, this does not have to be, it does not have to be disruption for bad. We can create disruption for good. And, you know, when politicians, the established institutions, our elected officials, when they fail to act, we need to find other ways. We need to find ways to connect with people, with activists need to connect with each other, entrepreneurs and those who come up with the solutions need to find a way to connect and share their solutions. And, you know, we give them really a global stage from which to shine.
My award is not for me. It's for Igma, it's for David, it's for every member in the world who support our movement, who amplify our voice as we don't have time.
And, you know, just electrifying vehicles, that doesn't remedy all of the major issues that are the result of a vehicle, including, you know, deteriorated social fabric, social inequity, greenfield development, deforestation, and just disconnection of people with nature and disconnection of people with other people. So I really want to urge everybody just to be thinking more about land use and not just electrifying vehicles to, you know, maintain the environment that got us here today.